Hi guys, today we're going to be making faux stained glass, and to do this we're going to need, of course, glass. And I got this picture frame at the dollar store, and you could also look into thrift stores or yard sales. Just look for some pictures with the glass in them, and you could do different size. I'm doing 8 by 10. And to get started, I'm going to clean off my glass, take it out of the frame, and clean it off with some rubbing alcohol. So I'm going to put my glass over my drawing. So my drawing, I just took a piece of computer paper and I traced a design with pencil, and then I went over it with a Sharpie. I know that they have free printables online that you can use too, or you can just come up with your own idea like I did. And next I took a piece of Scotch tape and I taped right here on the other side and up at the top a very small piece, and I went and I put it on the glass and wrapped it under to the back side of the paper. And as you see, I had drawn a kind of a frame line in my picture. I don't plan on putting anything outside this line, so where I put the tape was within that boundary. It's not on top of the picture where the picture would be. I just did this so it would help it from moving around underneath it and keep it stable. And I also have a piece of paper under here so I don't get anything on my table. You don't need to put this back in a frame. You could just set it out without the frame. You have to lean it up against the glass or something so you could get the light through it. I am going to put mine back in the frame though, or I'm going to attempt to anyway. First I'm going to go over the lines with faux liquid leading. And there's different ones you can do. You could make a mixture of 1 part black acrylic paint and 4 parts like white school glue, like Elmer's glue. As far as the generic glues go, I have no idea how they work compared to the Elmer's. And if it's too thick, you could add more black paint. And if it comes out too thin, then I would add more of the glue. Or you could use a mixture of Mod Podge. Mod Podge, the gloss finish, like a half a cup of that with several drops of the black acrylic paint again. And I actually am using gallery glass because I happen to have this already. I'm trying to get to focus. There we go. And you can get this online, Amazon, Hobby Lobby, I think Walmart might have it. That's about $9, I think. So it might be cheaper to make it the other way. You could also, I've got a big container of glue to refill the bottles. And I don't have it in front of me right now, but you would just take a bottle like this of the white school glue and you could mix it into that so you have the spout on the bottle. Or you could get bottles like this, I think at the dollar store carries them in the craft section. You could use that. Okay, so we're going to go over all the lines in here, and I have a piece of paper towel right here too, just so I can kind of lean on that and not lean my hands on the glass, just as a balancer. But we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go over each line. And this is, I'm outlining mine because it's going to be, the picture's going to be inside the frame, not right up to the frame. So I'm just going ahead and I'm outlining it. And if you feel like it didn't get on there thick enough, you could go back over, which that line to me, I think I need a little bit more in there. And if you make a mistake, you can use like a little X-Acto knife to peel it away and correct it. I kind of whatever, I want to fix it right there. I'll do that in a second though. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the rest of this off camera, so you don't have to watch me do this, you know, and take forever going through it, or speeding up the camera. You don't have to sit there and watch me go through it. Okay, so I'm going to go through it, and I'm just going to make sure that there's no lines that are disconnected that I want connected for filling in, and let it dry a couple hours, and then I'll take an X-Acto knife and just kind of clean it up anywhere that I feel it needs to be cleaned up a little bit before I fill it in. And altogether, that took me about 10 minutes to line it all in like that. Okay, so I've let this dry overnight, and it takes a couple hours to overnight. I just decided to get back to it the next day and give it some extra time to dry, but sometimes within a couple hours it's dry enough to work with. So now we're going to do the color. I'm going to give you a couple different ideas of things to work with, and one of them is going to be you can make the color from clear school glue. So put that, and you would do 3 tablespoons of color, of the glue. And I just got these at the store, like a thing of cheap cups, to mix the stuff in, or actually the dollar store probably would have been cheaper for me. And so you would do about 3 tablespoons of the school glue, the clear school glue, not the white one, and about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of water. I would try like a half at first and see how that works when it comes to how liquidy it is. And then I'm going to say about anywhere from 5 to 10 drops of food coloring. I would start off with 5 and see if it looks dark enough to you, and then maybe work your way up if you want it more. Now I did a sample of this, and I'm not using the food coloring and the glue. This is the cheapest way to go, I think, when it comes to making up your stuff, which I probably would have done. I just happen to have some other stuff on hand that I'm going to use. So, and here's my sample. I did some blue on a sheet of glass, and yes, there's a blob of glue stuck on there that I need to remove. Came with a picture frame like that. Anyway, so you can see, actually you can see my picture through it. Let me show you up close. So that was 5 drops right there. So I just wanted to do a sample on a sheet of glass for you so you can see how that turned out. Another one would be to use Mod Podge, like the gloss finish. And again, it'd probably be a half a cup of this, and a few drops of like acrylic paint, and mix that up. There's a big helicopter going over. And you mix that up. That's another thing you could use. Also, you could use clear school glue again with some ink from like the ink you put on like the stamps. You know, like for you know, to resupply the stamp pads. There's that, or tie-dye inks. I heard somebody use tie-dye inks too. Now, I haven't tried the inks or the tie-dyes, but that's just another example. And then another one would be to use like clear glue again, clear school glue. 3 tablespoons about to acrylic paint. I'm going to take a couple drops of the acrylic paint. Again, I would try to adjust the color to the shade you want, but you don't want it too dark that it's not see-through. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using the clear glue and acrylic paint. And then there's this idea. This is a gallery glass window color, and it's to create a stained glass look, it says. So I'm going to be using these too, along with the acrylic paint, because I just happen to have these. So, alright, so let's get going on the painting part. I have a couple paint brushes. These are my older ones I'm using. And I have a couple popsicle sticks for stirring. Again, I got these cups. And then I went ahead and I filled a cup with some warm soapy water, so when I'm done with the paintbrush, I can just stick it right into the warm soapy water until I can get to it and clean it out. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the gallery glass, and this one is called Pumpkin Orange. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill this in. And you want to fill it in all the way to the line. You can use an X-Acto knife when you're done too, if you messed up really bad and you want to remove something. That way, you know, you could redo it. Okay, so this one is acrylic paint, and the glue, it's a flame yellow. This is what it's called. And I went ahead and I added a couple drops of water just to get it to the consistency that I wanted. I'm going to go ahead and paint that in there. Now I have a apricot. Okay, so I got it all filled in now, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to let this dry overnight, and then I'm going to put it back in the frame and put it up in the sunlight and show you. Alright, so it's dried. I'm going to let it dry overnight. I'm going to put it in the frame. Yeah, I ripped my paper. Pick it up here. I purposely had it kind of within the frame so there's like a clear space of the glass showing, but I could have put it out all the way to the frame, and as long as it was dried I could have put it back in the frame that way, you know, but I just happened to do it like that. So if you happen to have your picture, as long as it's not interfering with your picture so much, and you happen to have it all the way out so you don't have a clear glass line going around, as long as it's dry, that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push the little tabs back over. And I'm going to hang it up in the window and show you. Okay, here's my finished faux stained glass, and well, I couldn't hang it on the frame because the frame didn't have a hook on the actual frame part. It was on the back covering, so make sure you get a frame that has a hook on the frame so when you take the backing out you've got something to hang it on. And I tried to hang it on the little tabs that are in the back of the glass, just long enough so you could see it hanging in the window, but that didn't seem to work. It didn't seem stable enough for me to even do it for a couple seconds. So I hope you like my video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and thanks guys for watching. Bye!